Figured I'd make a video about something, so I just made a little engine plate. That thing's super hot. I just welded it. So I drew this little plate up. It didn't take me but a minute, but I just wanted to see how it would do. And I don't have that much 1/4-inch plate, and what I do, I want to save. So I don't like cutting it unless I absolutely have to. I don't like my final product being screwed up or have to do 5 or 6 different revisions. And that's where the laser came in. I took a manila folder and just cut 2 or 3 different revisions of this. So I had some cardboard. It was just basically whatever I had handy. And what I did is my first iteration was this. And then, if you notice, I put some reliefs in it here. And then, basically, I was able to go to the laser and just quickly cut that out. It didn't take any time at all. It was really fast, really simple, really easy. And then you can see some other ones that I cut here. So these were gaskets that I test cut to make sure everything fit. And these are all the different revisions. And then these are block-off plates. I cut gaskets and a plate with my plasma cutter. And you can see, I had to scale it down. So you can see how much bigger the first one was. And then I kept scaling it down until I got the size that was right. So if you look at this one on top of this one, you can see that the holes don't quite line up. And it's a good bit bigger. So when I drew that in, you do that with, I use SolidWorks to do it. And essentially, my calipers, the battery was going bad, so it didn't quite scale it the right way. Generally, what I do is take something of a known, say I knew, I don't know, I usually take a credit card and then measure the credit card just because it's something that's flat, lay down, measure it exact. And then in SolidWorks, if say that's my credit card, I measure from here to here. And there's a tool that you just click and say, that is exactly 2.3 inches. And then it scales your image and you just trace what you've scanned in. So that's how I've done a lot of those. So you can see all the different versions of it I cut. And that gave me, on this motor I was working on, I was able to verify that the bolt pattern fit here, make a block-off plate and a gasket for this, and a block-off plate and gasket for this. And that was using a laser to get my basic dimensions really quickly, and I was able to kind of put all that together. So this is a 350 that came out of another pickup truck that I bought. And it's, what I had been doing is taking a chain and going from here to the back and picking it up. Well, that puts your pickup point like right here. And that's already dropping below. Normally it comes from the bottom here. So I've re-bolted it here to where I get a little more height. And so if you take this much dangle and then you dangle it that far, I've got that much room above the motor, and basically I wasn't able to get it in without taking the hood off. So the last one, I just popped the hood off. It's sitting over there. But this one, I don't want to have to do that. So I made this plate so I can hook to it with that thing, and essentially what I'm hoping that will do is give me the ability to pick this thing up and set it in there without having to take that off. So I'm going to clean it up a little bit more before I drop it in. There's a few other little things I want to do. I'm going to put spark plugs in it. It's due for plugs, and a few other things. But this came out of a truck that had like 71,000 miles on it. So I pulled it out, took the exhaust manifold bolts off that were rotten. I had to use a tool this thing right here, you take this coil and you put it over a piece of metal and it makes it red hot. So with those exhaust bolts, a lot of times that's the only way you get it off. So I would, you know, basically make them really, really hot, spray some lube in there and let it work its way in, and then I was able to work them out. The manifold had all kinds of vacuum stuff and all that kind of mess on it, and I don't really need it. So I plugged that, got all those plugged up, and I've been just sort of cleaning the motor a little bit at a time. Took some engine degreaser and degreased it basically, and I guess I'm gonna have to take some kind of paint and paint over top of that. So I might do that here in a little bit now that it's all degreased. But either way, that was just something quick. I don't know what to do with that thing, but being able to test fit that with something as cheap as a piece of cardboard. I've started saving boxes like that to where I can actually cut that stuff out of the cardboard and test it now, and it's really nice. I've also taken, you know, gaskets like this, and I'm building an inventory of gaskets, so I'll draw that up. I actually ordered a little scanner to where I can take all of this stuff, and as I make gaskets, what I'll do is I'll just take a pencil and, you know, trace it onto a piece of notebook paper, and that's how I'm pulling a lot of that stuff in. But, you know, being able to do something that quickly and easily and test things is really nice to be able to do. And so you can buy this gasket material really not that expensive. See, there's that piece of cardboard that I used to cut that out with. And you can get different types of gasket material. So I'm going to make me a shelf somewhere around here to hang all this stuff. But you get the idea. Just makes things easy. So have a good day.